Pompeii was once a bustling Roman city near the Bay of Naples in Italy, filled with life, commerce, and culture. It was home to around 11,000 people and stood as a prime example of Roman urban planning, with paved roads, villas, temples, marketplaces, and public baths. The city thrived during the Roman Empire, especially in the 1st century AD. It had a strong economy based on agriculture, trade, and manufacturing. The people of Pompeii were relatively wealthy and many lived in luxurious homes. Public life flourished with forums, amphitheaters, and temples playing key roles in daily activities. Pompeii also had a vibrant entertainment scene. Gladiator fights, theatrical performances, and public feasts were common. In many ways, it was a city that reflected the grandeur and sophistication of the Roman world. But beneath all this prosperity lay an ever-present danger. Mount Vesuvius, the mountain looming just a few miles away, was actually a volcano, although few people at the time realized that. The mountain had been quiet for centuries, and its true nature was forgotten. There were even farms on its slopes. People had no idea they were living on a geological time bomb. That all changed in the year 79 AD. In the days leading up to the eruption, there were signs that something was wrong. Minor earthquakes shook the region, and springs began to dry up. Animals behaved strangely, but most residents didn't understand the warnings. On the morning of August 24, 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius exploded in one of the most catastrophic volcanic eruptions in European history. The eruption began with a massive column of ash, pumice, and gas shooting miles into the sky. For hours, volcanic debris rained down on Pompeii. The sky darkened as ash blotted out the sun. People tried to flee, covering their mouths with cloth and holding hands to avoid both being separated in the chaos. Many managed to escape, but thousands stayed behind, either trapped or believing it would soon pass. As the ashfall grew heavier, roofs began to collapse under the weight. Buildings crumbled. Streets were choked with debris, but the worst was yet to come. In the early hours of the next morning, pyroclastic surges swept down the mountain. These were fast-moving clouds of superheated gas, ash, and rock, incinerating everything in their path. By the time the final surge hit, Pompeii was buried beneath multiple meters of volcanic material. The city was frozen in time. Thousands of people died, many of them in their homes, others caught while trying to escape. Their final moments were preserved in eerie detail. The ash hardened around their bodies, and over time, their remains decayed, leaving voids in the hardened ash. Centuries later, archaeologists would pour plaster into these voids to create haunting casts of the victims, showing their exact positions in their last moments. After the eruption, Pompeii was forgotten. Over time, it was buried deeper and deeper until it was lost to history. It wasn't rediscovered until the 18th century, when explorers digging for artifacts stumbled upon the ancient ruins. What they found was astonishing. Because of the unique way Pompeii had been buried, the city was remarkably well preserved. Buildings, artworks, tools, graffiti, and even food remained intact. It offered an unparalleled window into ancient Roman life. We could see what people ate, how they decorated their homes, how they worshipped, and even what they wrote on the walls. One famous piece of graffiti reads, "I don't want to sell my husband, not for all of the gold in the world," revealing a surprisingly personal glimpse into the past. Today, Pompeii is one of the most important archaeological sites in the world. Millions of visitors come each year to walk the ancient streets, visit the forum, peek inside the villas, and stand in the amphitheater where gladiators once fought. It's a place where history feels alive, where the ghost of the past seems to whisper through the ruins. The tragedy of Pompeii is also a stark reminder of the power of nature. Mount Vesuvius is still an active volcano, and millions of people live in its shadow. Scientists monitor it closely, But the story of Pompeii reminds us that even in the heart of civilization, disaster can strike without warning. What makes Pompeii unique isn't just how it ended, but how much of it was saved. Most ancient cities crumbled away slowly over centuries, destroyed by war, time, and human activity. But Pompeii was preserved in an instant, like a snapshot of Roman life frozen in ash. It lets us see history, not just through texts or legends, but in physical space. We can walk through the bakery with its ovens and millstones. We can stand in the baths where citizens once relaxed. Pompeii is more than a ruin. It's a story, a moment, a warning, and a treasure. It's a place where life ended, but where the history began to speak. Like, comment, and subscribe for daily history stories.